Pirates. This one was just weird. No matter what I wrote, the number of words never seemed to go up much. Poke, poke, poke. The tale of the tiny, newly hatched Nagasha girl kept prodding Karim as little Melina showed herself to be a jungle Nagasha through and through. Her long tail was strong enough, even at this early stage in her life, to poke, poke, poke him. Then she misses. Not because he's moved away. Well, not in the normal way. The benefits of being a Slav means you can shift everything but your central self. And seeing as how Karim's central self is well out of reach already, he's made a nice big cavity where she can reach him. Meaning he's out of reach and Melina is so confused he can outright hear it. He shifts upwards and refocuses his gel so his head is now in the upward stretch part, and the confusion continues. Newly born and very vocal, Melina is not shy to express with her lungs in more than just crying. The tail that's naturally absorbing the surrounding axiom to make itself strong enough to move no matter what lifts up and tries to poke at him again. A tendril drops down from the neck of his new head and forms into an arm with a proper hand on the end that slips to the side and tickles Melina's tail. There's a surprised laugh and the tail flops back down as she starts wiggling. Ha! Turnabout is fair play. You poke me? I tickle you! He taunts the giggling little wiggler. He is then alerted to lunch when a bit of leftover fish is placed on his head. It's absorbed in moments and begins to dissolve. Thank you, Mother. You're welcome, Karim. It's so good to see you getting along so well with Melina. Jesse says even as Karim shifts back to a more standard shape, that being a humanoid upper body of red slime with clothing vaguely floating on top, and a pair of pants floating in the pillar that makes up his legs. He's not going anywhere right now, so he doesn't need legs. How could I not? She's newborn. She's innocent. She can't be deliberately mean yet. She doesn't know how, Karim protests. Unlike you? Jesse asks, and Karim scoffs. Hello, Shab. Full knowledge, and already a murderer. Karim remarks, and there's a two-finger swat from Jesse. None of that. You didn't do anything. I know. I'm trying to make jokes, Karim protests. Well, I'm not fond of anyone making fun of you for that. You have plenty of time to get into your own trouble, young man. You don't need to borrow what someone did to you, Jesse remarks. But the Duchess has a reputation for being part of the Dark Cabal. She has a reputation for surviving the Dark Cabal. Until you're older, being a Hloshab is something inflicted on you. Something you need to move past. Then when's it something I can brag about? When no one can tell, when they're surprised, and it can scare them even more. Jesse says, and Karim looks confused. And when is that? After you've had your first regenerative sleep, but slobs don't need it as much. Karim notes, slobs generally need them once every 50 years. The way you're put together means your body is mostly in the mind. So long as you keep regenerating your gel, which you will do your whole life, you have a strong, capable body. But after 60 or 70 years, you'll start to lose that ability, and your mind is at risk of leaving. That's when you go through a regenerative sleep and restore yourself. I have to wait 60 years? 50 at most. Jesse says, and Karim just gives her a low look. What? 50 years is forever. No, it's not. Besides, that's at most. If you get hurt on your core, the only known way to actually heal a slobe is with a healing coma. Your bodies are too different from the rest of the galaxy to have the proper tools readily available, Jesse says. But don't take this as encouragement to be reckless and get yourself hurt. You're a big brother now. Your little sisters and brothers will try to do what you do. So be safe for them, if no other reason. Right, well, Karim begins, and his communicator starts vibrating inside him. He shifts it through him to emerge from his hand and looks at it. Then he nods. Time to go? Jesse asks, and Karim nods. All right, get your shoes. Me and Melina will be seeing you off today. And then there's movement as he splits his central pillar into a pair of legs that fit into the pants. Now he looks almost like a normal biped as he rushes and steps into his shoes. His mother slithering behind him as she carries the basket with Melina. Within minutes they're away and flying, and Karim is up to his next day in the Scouts, a cadet branch of the Undaunted. All right then, kiddies. We have ourselves a new recruit today. Everyone snap off a salute to Junior Scout Drake Kelpnot. Cadet, some personal details if you please, Marcus asks in his drill sergeant best, and there's a look of confusion from the newest recruit. The routine was pretty easy. Drill sergeants are one of the best ways to bring people together and teach all the basic skills while getting people in shape. All you need is to dial it back about 10 degrees, and it's good for children too. Mostly a lot less insults and swearing. Actually, that's entirely the difference. I'm Drake Kelpnot. I used to be Drake Vaughan, but all the other Vaughans were, Drake begins, and a comforting hand finds his shoulder. It's all right, soldier. That's more than enough, Marcus says. Our new recruit is from Shellgather. Like many of you, there has been problems in the past with the scumbags and monster wearing the faces of people that did awful things. You're here to get stronger, all of you. So Cadet Kelpnot, find yourself a seat next to Cadet Ali there. Our next lesson is something he's good at, so he can be your training buddy for it. Drake walks up to sit next to Kareem, who offers him a smile. Kareem only has a sort of idea what the world was like before the Undaunted arrived. But the fact that this new kid was the only survivor of a family? Yeah, that's bad. All right then, troop. We are on a hunt today. Today you will be refining your skills in map reading and GPS tracking. I have 10 different drones moving from hiding place to hiding place, and you need to route them all out. Your communicators will have the coordinates, but you will have to read them off and make use of them to find the drones. Now here's the fun part. Each drone has a series of key cards on them. Marcus explains before reaching into his pocket and bringing out something that's a knot of axiom. It's a series of lockers with numbers on them, with one really big one at the end. You need all 10 key cards to open one of these lockers for the prize inside. First come, first serve. And as for the prize, Marcus asks before he places his thumb on the scanner for the first locker. It works like all 10 cards and he opens it. Enough game tokens for 10 hours of constant fun at the arcades, and 2 one-pound bags of candy. He then closes the locker. Now as for the smaller lockers, smaller prize. But only the first team back with all 10 key cards gets the big one. The kids start all but vibrating, and Marcus smiles. All right, form teams of 2 then. Cadets Ali and Kelpnot are on a team together, so no one ask them, Marcus orders, and there's some rushing around as everyone reseats themselves in a hurry. All right then, now I'm going to give you a quick reminder, or first lesson depending, on how to properly read your GPS and act upon it. Pay attention now. So, is this a big part of this? Drake asks, and Kareem nods. Every cadet had been brought over to a place in the middle of all the different drone paths, and Drill Sergeant Marcus was swooping overhead each of the groups and checking on everyone constantly. We have 4 basic kind of things we do. There's basic drill, where they teach us to move together. There's practical skills like this. There's weapons training too. That one is the most carefully watched, even more than the last one, which is camping and survival training. And they bring in another drill sergeant, so there's one for every 3 cadets. Karim explains, and Drake just sort of blinks a bit as he tries taking it all in. There's probably a lot going on with the other guy. All right, so the first coordinate is, Drake says after he started examining his communicator and starts pointing. I think Karim gently pulls his arm a little to the left. That way? That way, Karim confirms. Okay, let's go. We don't know who's going for what, but the sooner we start, the sooner we get the big prize, Karim says, and Drake nods. The first drone they catch just as it's entering its newest hiding place. They had to check again after finding the old one empty to see that it had moved. So that was a few minutes lost. The next 2 are found right where they first look, and they chase down the 4th as it starts shifting even as they show up. The 5th is interesting though. It's in a pond, and instead of waiting, Drake just goes right in, which is faster than what Karim wanted to do. Pond water doesn't taste right against his membrane. He grabs the card easily, and they're quickly trying to intercept a drone that goes between 2 buildings. There's a warning with this one to use the stairs only, and they're in big trouble if they try to jump for it. So they split up for a bit, and Karim has to wait due to Drake not getting up to the roof in time to catch it before it takes off again and floats off towards Karim. As I said, Miss Octillery, there's a minimum standard for these cadets. You need to get your toddler up to the level she can understand and obey orders. I know that, I'm not stupid, Moira says over the communicator as Liu Shu suddenly kicks up a bit more fuss. I'm trying to get things straight before I do anything big. I understand that, ma'am, but this is a step far in advance. Pay more attention to the immediate... Excuse me, Marcus says as he lowers the communicator and leans out the side of his air car. Cadets Riley, Cadets Trent, damaging the drones is a disqualifying offense. You are to stop throwing rocks at it immediately. The kids stop and he leans back in. Sorry about that. As I was saying, pay more attention to the immediate here and now. It's good to think ahead, but if you plan to far ahead, then all the little things can and will shatter whatever plans you have. I'm aware my apologies. These pendants stop me from being affected by Liu Shu's poison, but it does nothing to stop her from being slippery, Moira says. I understand. Feel free to call again when you have a more peaceful time to speak, and we will discuss this in further detail. Marcus says politely, and she hangs up. He stores the communicator away by sheer reflex and considers. The poor woman is clearly overwhelmed in trying to feel some sort of control or power over her situation. But she's going that extra bit of too foster that is generally the sign of an overly controlling parent or an obsessive. Hopefully her time with a psychologist will actually help her. He then smirks to himself as a Matak cadet actually flies out and intercepts one of the hovering drones to grab the keycard. It is surprisingly rewarding, making a challenge that no species can cheat. Some might have advantage for the drones that hide in water. Others might do better for things that go from tree to tree or building to building. But no one race can simply shoot around and grab all of them. There's some patience needed for all of them, which is just as much an important lesson as learning to actually follow and read the GPS properly. After all, hurry up and wait is a time-honored staple of military life. Even back in the times of sandals, bronze swords, and shields,